Hey, thanks for watching my video. If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. Every bit of support is greatly appreciated. Now let's get to the video. What up, I'm Xander, and have you ever found it kind of weird that there's a bunch of games based on different sports? Think about it. One of the most popular games to come out each year is the Madden series based on American football. Soccer's got a bunch of them, wrestling's a big one, but the one that I've decided to talk about specifically today is a sport that me and my dad have grown to love, golf. Ah yes, golf, the thing Adam Sandler played in Billy Madison. You see, golf is an easy sport to make into something weird and abnormal. Given a little twist, making something so weird and bizarre it barely resembles golf, it's surprisingly easy to do. I say surprisingly because, well, have you ever watched a game of golf?
Go! Go!
Did he? Yeah.
Challengers lied to me. But you can argue that the most boring sports can spawn the most memorable games. Because the sport itself has so few elements of excitement, it gives developers an easier way to express the sport in a creative term. So, I've got 17 games lined up here, so let's see how they stack up. Yeah, I thought we'd get these ones out of the way since they're as basic as it gets. Golf It and Golf With Your Friends are arguably the most popular golf games out there. When you think golf games, you think of 2K's 40th monopoly on sports titles, and then you probably think of these. Both are great options with friends, as not only do they offer plenty of material off the bat, but both of them have workshop material on Steam to keep the fun going. Fan-made courses are so much fun on these. Golf It has a way bigger community on Steam Workshop, so I'd say that one's a bit better, but they're both go-tos, honestly. Also, I like how I did the Sony Pictures Animation games, talking about them and then ranking them, so that's what I'm doing here. Oh, we've got a fun one for you, ladies and gents. Koala Kids Golf. Mind you, most of these can be found on Steam. Funny enough, this is actually a sequel to a platformer called Koala Kids. I don't know what primed them to make a golf version of their game, but whatever. I decided to bring in Gabe for this one. I don't know if PETA protects koalas, but if they do, can y'all just look the other way for a second? Yep, the big thing with this is you're able to just hit around koalas no matter the cost. Your big goal is to hit as many obstacles as possible, kind of like a pinball machine. There are ways to make each stroke last for a while as long as you hit your koala right. Gabe was straight up getting mad because I was able to score hella points, and I don't even know how. The different courses and obstacles make this a very fun, but admittedly a bit repetitive time. Me and Gabe definitely got bored after 3 or 4 rounds, but that didn't necessarily mean this game was bad. It kind of reminds me of this old PS2 game called Ribbit King. I saw a Game Grumps episode on it at one point, so that's pretty fun. This one's fun for what it is. I definitely would recommend.
100-foot robot go!
That's what I'm saying. This was one I kept seeing a lot, and after knowing how iconic it really is, I had to include it for this video. I have no idea why it's iconic. So the concept is that you choose one of these characters, and that is your 100-foot robot. Look, I absolutely adore these developers for knowing ball and how good corgis can be. So obviously, I chose the corgi characters. Corgis are just cute. Look at her. You tell me dead in my face that she isn't cute. Oh, she's wearing a cone now. Oh, I don't like that she's wearing a cone. She hurt her paw. I'm just upset. However, once we do get to the actual golfing, it's just clunky. A nice thing you can do is get in the way of your opponent's balls. Oh, hold on, that sounded wrong. But they can get in the way of yours too, and it's not fun when it happens to you. Also, why can we destroy shit? That's so weird, and it doesn't even do anything. It just clears a path, if anything. The jumping takes too damn long. Flying across the course can take you way longer than it should. Though I do love the jumping animation when you win. And that's just what I do when I win. Speaking of humor, I will say the announcers are giving it their all. Good lines here and there. But when it comes down to what matters most, the golf gameplay, it just doesn't deliver. Everything around it is really good and really creative, but when you get to the actual golfing, it's not fun. Which sucks. I wanted this to be a way better experience, but I just can't get into it. Next up, we got multiplayer platform golf.
Multiplayer!
I'm waiting on my
Platform.
lobby.
Golf!
Speaking my language, the title tells you about everything you need to know. This is a multiplayer platform golf game. The basic premise is that you go through a golf course and have to platform your way across in order to get to your ball. You can either choose to do the game-given courses, or try your hand at some mods. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the funniest thing you will ever fucking see. You got it, Gabe. He said, yeah, I'm killing myself. I kinda dig how broken the golfing is here. It's not like 100-foot robot golf where it's too clunky and not fun to play. It's clunky, but it's kinda goofy in a way. I kinda dig it. The platforming is a bit janky, which sadly does add some problems for this game. I mean, you can mess up at golfing or platforming, but if you mess up at both, find a new career. It's goofy looking and it has a lot of small flaws, but I enjoy it fine.
That's it. I'm gonna have to resort to saying slurs.
Next up, we got 4D Golf. This one intrigued me because it seemed like a regular golf game. Just wait and see how it is, though. So you start up a few courses and... So my brain is bleeding. Yeah, so the big thing with this game is that you're supposed to use 4 dimensions in order to find the hole. If your dimensions are even slightly off, you ain't getting par, bitch. You're lucky to get a bogey. This gives a lot of strategy, and I'll admit, I'm a little too dumb for it. That's the saddest thing about this. I definitely say if somebody who understood dimensions played this, they'd probably get more into it, because for me, I was just getting sore playing this game. Which sucks, because I think there is a genuinely good idea here, and I'll go ahead and say, if you're smart enough, you'll definitely enjoy this one. But if simply looking at a movie in 3D glasses makes your eyes sore, don't play this one. It's really difficult. Alright, this one's silly to include because it's 99 cents, where a lot of these were in the $10 to $30 range. But it's an interesting one, so I just had to include it. Angry Golf, a game I absolutely have to confirm is probably made by one person. And for being made by one person, it's pretty funny. So it's just a standard game of golf, but you're able to explode your ball over to where it needs to be. Because of the mechanics, though, I do have to stress this is one of the more frustrating golf games out there. But from the design to the layout of the levels, just about everything about this game, it's so bizarre and funny, I just had to include it. I mean, it's about as standard as a 99-cent golf game should be, but I gotta give credit, it's so weird, I kinda dig it. It'll probably be lowered on the ranking, but I don't care. I want to include it anyways because it left an impact on me, and I guess that's what games are supposed to be. Next up, we got Cursed to Golf. A thing to remember about this game is that it's actually more of a story-driven golf game, which is always fun. The story follows our golfer getting struck by lightning and being sent to purgatory, golf purgatory to be exact. That's where Michael Jordan's going for doing Space Jam. Such, to get out of golf purgatory, we must go on a journey through the afterlife, going through different holes and having to get to the end of them in as few strokes as possible. Each hole gives you a certain amount of strokes you're allowed before you have to restart. But there are ways to extend your stroke limit alongside taking shortcuts, but every shortcut has its risks. This is a very creative way to do golf. The idea of having to reach a hole in a certain amount of time, sort of how actual golf works with its par, bogey, and other standards, but only here you have to restart if you run out of strokes. It raises the stakes, and it's actually kind of fun in a way. However, one thing just absolutely kills me about this game. It has no save feature. Such, if you run out of strokes and have to restart, but you want to save your game so you can play something else, guess what? You fucking can't. Such, if I were to record another session of this game, I'd have to record from the beginning with the opening cutscene again. What the hell? Look, this game came out in 2022. Save feature's been a thing. Get with the program. But I like the concept, and the gameplay is fun, yet tense. So in a backwards way from 100-foot robot golf, the things surrounding it might not be the best, but the core gameplay works out in the end. There's little nitpicks I have here and there, but it's hard to really complain when its core gameplay, the golfing, suffices and works how it's supposed to. Next up, we got Disaster Golf, aka what happens when my dad tees up. Get it? Get it? Because he's bald! So the big thing with this one is that you golf by using natural disasters, such as whirlwinds, sandstorms, black holes, lightning. There's something I'm missing, though. Something important. Oh yeah, it's really not fun. Yeah, for how good of a concept it is, and honestly, it really should have worked. My biggest issue is that gameplay-wise, it just doesn't deliver. Each hole goes by time instead of strokes. Now, to what I've seen, it doesn't matter if you get a trophy or not on each hole to continue, you just need to complete the hole. But just getting to the hole is really fucking difficult for some reason. What should be solid, straightforward gameplay that adds a lot of strategy, especially when you consider how you can't use the same natural disaster multiple times in a row, it just becomes a clear problem just to get to the hole. The way the ball moves just isn't stable enough, and such, your best bet is to use the same 2 natural disasters, the meteor shower and the black hole. The other ones just don't make your ball go fast enough, or they straight up make your ball go to the side. There's a really good idea with Disaster Golf. I genuinely need that to be known. And man, this would make golf a lot more interesting.
Well, Dan, this is one of those monster par 5s.
But I'm sorry, this just isn't executed well, and it sucks because I really do like the idea in concept. But it all comes down to how the gameplay executes that concept, and it just didn't work out. Alright, we got one that usually comes up when you talk about golf games, Everybody's Golf. From what I've been able to tell, this game actually has been around for a long while. Hell, this one is from 2016. Apparently, though, this series has been around since the 2000s and even has a new entry coming out later this year in September. So in a way, this is my way to get introduced into the series, so maybe I'll pick up the new one when it comes out. After playing it, I have no idea what's happening, but I goddamn love it. So the best way I can explain this is it's kinda like if every single JRPG made golfing. There's a lot of weird Japanese shit that I've become accustomed to. Genuinely fun golfing. I was actually very surprised that the gameplay was as fun as it was. a very unique location with this island created by a man who runs the show. And yeah, this is definitely a Japan game. It's weird, yet very unique. I was actually surprised how fun it was just to go through the courses. There's a lot of stats that come on your screen, and I don't care, I just really like the golfing. You level up and eventually you come across specific rivals. Usually someone who presents about the same skill set as you. Yeah, these names are really hard for me to pronounce, but hey, come on over, baby. Hold on. Nope, not happening. I like people my own age, thank you. I love the customization of your character, too. I tried to make mine look like Adam Scott. Close enough. That's a choice. It's one of the weirdest golf games out there, and I have played some weird ones so far. Yet it's so personalized and interesting, and of course, when it comes down to what matters most, the gameplay, it delivers and then some. Seriously, I'm actually kind of curious to see how the new one will be. If it's anything like this, I'll be sure to check it out and hopefully I'll enjoy it. Needless to say, this one made me a new fan. Okay, we're taking a break from the traditional putt-putt levels of gameplay and instead are heading over to a different style with Golf Club Architect. What I mean by different style is that instead of just being a traditional golfing game, there were also simulation games that allow you to run your own golf course. And while there's one more that I'm yet to get to that's a lot better than this one, I can't say I don't see the idea here. I might just be too damn stupid to understand the interface. I played for 10 minutes and then flooded my course. Maybe I'm just too dumb for it. I'm sure there's somebody who will get the interface immediately, but especially with simulation games, I like there to be a bit more simplicity in my UI. I don't think it's necessarily bad, it's just incredibly hard to get down. Next up we got Golf Gang. This one is a super cheap one you can play with your friends. I'm honestly pretty impressed with the style. The way it works is that you have to be the first one to get your ball in the hole. It doesn't have your traditional golfing controls, rather you're able to just move your ball however you want, you just gotta be the first one to get to the hole in order to win. For being such a simple concept, it's surprisingly very fun. It takes a little bit to get used to it, but I don't know, it's pretty fun. Oh, good job, Arch, you fucking tutorial using bastard.
I've been playing that first round, dude.
Okay. Where Golf Club Architect was a little difficult to get into the user face and it offered a few challenges, Golftopia is usually the game everyone points to as the best golf course owning simulator. And honestly, it's pretty hard not to see why. This is a very well put together simulator, and may I add, very stylistic. It allows you to customize and create holes how you desire, however, if a hole seems too difficult or is straight up impossible, you lose money from that. And it's easy to lose money. I remember I found myself having so much fun creating these holes, and then I realized, oh shit, I spent a lot of money on these golf games and now I'm broke. Oh, and also I'm broke in Golftopia too, yeah. There's very few games out there that look like this. It's kind of like an 80s futuristic look. I should mention there's also mods for this one, so if you want to take a look at some creator-made levels, that's also an option. Honestly, I don't really have that many notes on this one, it's pretty damn solid. The user face is easy to get into, and it's just enough customization to make it fun. It's not an infinitely fun game, but I don't think any of these truly would be, so this one works pretty well. Now, you probably read that title and wondered, what the fuck? Super inefficient golf? What could be more inefficient about golf besides watching it? Well, when you start up the game, you find out that the way the golfing works this time is that you place certain mines on your ball to blast it towards the hole. Alright, there are very few ways to make golf inefficient, but that would be it.
Monster par 5, 609 yards.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't care for this one. First of all, the mines are way too hard to predict. The problem with this concept, which is a really cool one, is that you really can't tell where the mines will take your ball. You gotta play it by stroke, and it's just not fun. Maybe there are people who would enjoy this concept or just like a challenge, maybe some Dark Souls fans, I don't know. But for me, it's just not my thing. Okay, next up we got What the Golf. I'm curious about this one. I remember seeing the poster on Steam and just thinking, yeah, I think I need to include that. Okay, we started up and it's just normal golf. Okay, let's do a second hole. Yeah, that was just another normal round of golf. What's so what the golf about this? Alright, let's do number 3.
Run that by me again, twin.
I'm sorry, did my club just go flying? Oh my god. Okay, let's do this. Oh my god, the fucking hole moved. Oh, it's gonna be one of those games, okay. Yep. This is in fact the weirdest one I've played for this video. Every single hole has some kind of big twist, and honestly, the different ways they switched up the gameplay is very creative. I mean it, there was surprisingly a lot of variety. At one point, I was playing Golf Flappy Bird. You explain to me how that makes sense. But that's the really clever part. It never feels like it's just throwing it at you, expecting you to think it's something genius. It completely indulges itself in the madness and its bullshit, and it kind of works. You play as a couch, a vase, a box. You even partake in some Mario gameplay. It's pretty fun. But we're not there yet. Hey, here goes the thumbnail. Honestly, I am completely in awe. but for a good reason. This was really fun. At one point, I was replicating Undertale gameplay. Are you kidding me? Hey, I started playing Deltarune, by the way. Really good stuff. Okay, this one surprised me. In a crazy way, it's one of the most jumbled games, and yet it works as its own identity. Apparently, the team behind this made a sequel called What the Car. Maybe I'll end up doing some kind of racing games video in the future so I can talk about it, because man, I was impressed. This was absolutely phenomenal. The amount of times I would keel over laughing made this one of the most entertaining games of the night. Seriously, I gotta check out What the Car sometime because this team has my vote completely. Anything this team does from here on out, I will immediately support. They got me hooked. Okay, we take a look at something from the Worms series. I've played very few of the Worms games on the PC. I believe I played Reloaded or whatever, I'm not terribly sure. But yeah, they had a golf game back in 2012 apparently. Let's take a look. Oh, it's just golf. Well, it's done in the Worms style, there's different abilities you can pick up, but I don't know, it doesn't really work the way the Worms games traditionally worked. When you pick something up in one of the other Worms games, it doesn't really penalize you for going out of your way to get that upgrade. Here, you can't pass a hole without getting at least par, so going out of your way to get an item seems a bit silly as it only puts you back. And maybe it's just because it was made in 2012 or something about the series it comes from, but it moves too slow for me. Though I absolutely love how when this one got hit by my golf ball, he just explodes and dies. Yeah, he's just being dramatic. I mean, it's still a Worms game, and I think a lot of the fans of the series would probably get into this for as weird as it is. I mean, the Worms games have always been turn-based strategy games, and suddenly we got a golf spin-off? I don't know, it seems a bit weird, but I'm sure fans of the series will get into it. Otherwise, I don't know. Our last game of the night is Turbo Golf Racing, another one that usually gets brought up in the topic. As far as the concept, it's sort of a mix of Rocket League, but with golf. Now, just saying that makes me throw up because I fucking hate Rocket League, but surprisingly, it's actually pretty fun. So you're matched up with players around the world, or at least on Steam, and you have to use a variety of cars to play golf. It's sort of a race as you're racing against other players, but it also comes down to what score you get. It was so satisfying to hit the ball, even if it didn't go in the direction I wanted to, it just felt right. I like that you don't collide with other players. Considering how many are on the course at once, that would have been too cluttered. I also like the visuals, it kinda reminds me of Rocket League, but I don't know, it's still pretty good looking. But it uses a live service format. God damn it! Now, I don't think that means this is live service. I believe it doesn't get a lot of content updates, but you gotta wait in a queue to get a game. You usually have to play against other players, and yes, I found there was a battle pass of sorts, and I hate the live service format. It almost never works for any other game than Fortnite, and maybe Marvel Rivals, I don't know. Hey, I'm seeing Fantastic Four tomorrow as of recording this. That shit's gonna be heat. There's an item shop, again, the battle pass I talked about. Season 4? I just heard of this game. Even quests you can do to earn rewards. Man, this game was so fine without the live service approach. Maybe if there was an online mode, but the game itself was an offline game, I think it would have worked better. I have to dog on it though, because as I was writing this segment, I had the game queuing up in the background, and I still didn't find a match within 3 minutes. Could you imagine if Fortnite did that? Kids would be immediately focused on something else, like TikTok or something, I don't know. I hate that I have to dock this game down because from what I did play, I really enjoyed it. It was fun, the gameplay was fast and vibrant, the visuals and music were good. But considering I can't even play past that, I can't say this gets much further than like Worms Crazy Golf. At least that, I was able to play multiple matches. By the way, update on the queue, it took them 3.5 minutes to find a match and another 30 seconds to find a server. 4 minutes of me waiting to play more. Thankfully, the gameplay saves it here, although I'm not sure if this will piss off the Turbo Golf Racing community if it exists. But I got a triple bogey on the first hole and I still landed third. Get good? I don't know. So overall, while it's almost killed by its live service features, the gameplay saves it for real. Alright, let's rank them. At number 17 is 100-foot robot golf, sadly. Seriously, the concept is so good, and I feel like, especially nowadays, how many weird games we see come out, this should be top tier. And literally, everything around it is. The selection of the characters, the funny commentators, it's just the gameplay that's not there. It's buggy and cluttered, and it's just not fun to play, sadly. Not to mention, there's straight up things that are useless to the game. Otherwise, this would easily be one of my favorites because of just how weird it is. And the fact it includes corgis. Aspen tells you to subscribe, so if you don't, like 80% of you didn't on my Sony Animation Games video, she'll know. Look at her. Just subscribe. Number 16, Disaster Golf. I swear, it's all the good concepts that don't deliver. Again, what should be a great game is bogged down by some really hard control mechanics and some straight up useless disasters, despite that being the whole idea of the game. This should be better than it is, but I'm sorry, for being as good of a concept as it was, it didn't deliver in the end. And number 15 is super inefficient golf. This is sadly one of those concepts I already didn't really get into, as the mines are too unpredictable and the courses don't really differentiate themselves enough to make this one stand out. It's a funny concept, but sadly I couldn't get into it. And number 14 is Angry Golf. Yeah, you know it's bad when 3 games are below this. This one's just funny and I really can't get mad at it. For probably being made by one guy in one day in someone's basement, I'm pretty sure this delivered more than it needed to. And number 13 is Worms Crazy Golf. Being a part of a series I kinda enjoy from what I've played, this one just seems weird more than anything, and the gameplay that worked with the original games didn't really transfer well to a golf game. It's not horrible, I just didn't care for it. Number 12 is Multiplayer Platform Golf. I think this one really does well with its idea, and of course with a lot of workshop content, you're sure to have fun with this one. I just think the platforming could have been a little tighter, and occasionally it became annoying to golf, but it delivers otherwise, and I think the workshop content really saved this one. And number 11 is Turbo Golf Racing. Seriously, really fun and even challenging golf gameplay, but shit, dude, why was this live service? At that point, it feels like it's copying Rocket League. Had it just been a single-player offline game or even had an online mode, this would have been higher easily. Sorry for its fans, but I can't forgive a 4-minute queue. And number 10 is Golf Club Architect. Despite its difficult user face, I really do need to stress this one had a good idea. It's kind of like a modernized Golftopia. There are better simulator games out there, but I don't think that necessarily means Golf Club Architect is bad. And number 9 is Golf Game. Controls were a bit hard to get used to, but once you did, this was a fun time. It was fun to try to fuck your friends over and be the first one in that hole. I have to dock some points sadly due to the controls, but other than that, I really enjoy this one. And number 8 is Curse to Golf. While the lack of a save feature in the story sometimes get in the way of this game, I still think the core concept works. Having only so many strokes to get to the end of the hole alongside a really creative art style that I forgot to mention in my initial review makes this one of the best of the night. Number 7 is 4D Golf. Just because I'm stupid doesn't mean I didn't figure out certain things about this game, and once you figure it out, it's really fun to try to figure out the puzzles in each course. Number 6, Golf with Your Friends. A bit simpler than its other counterparts, but Golf with Your Friends is a classic in the community. I honestly have a lot of respect and can't wait for the sequel. Number 5 is Golftopia, a seriously stylized and unique simulator game and easily the best of the ones I played. It may have been easy to go broke and I didn't go woke. I'm sorry, that was so stupid, but honestly, this game was pretty fun for what it is. And number 4 is Koala Kids Golf. I can't help myself, even if it's animal abuse. Is it really abuse when I'm laughing? Yeah. It's got a very retro feel, and while it's a bit easy to rack up points on that bitch ass, I can't really complain. Gabe would definitely put this at the bottom though, because he sucked. And number 3 is Everybody's Golf. I wasn't expecting to like this one that much, but the creativity behind this one is great. And it made me a new fan of the series. I'll definitely be picking up that new one in September. And number 2 is Golf It, a classic if I've ever seen it. With fun default levels and an insane amount of workshop material, this one is a definite must-play in the golf game community, if that even exists. And at number 1, to probably the surprise of nobody considering my tastes, is What the Golf. Genuinely, the most fun I've had recording a game for a video since Split Fiction. I have to find a way to incorporate What the Car into a video. I have to see what else this studio puts out. To end us off, I composed a very beautiful piece from one of the games that I played today. Just for you guys. Take a listen. I can't fuck!